Was Abraham Lincoln a president?
Yes.
Oh, I thought he was just a publical figure.
Welcome back to Delulu Diaries, where the timelines don't match, but the receipts always do. I have a couple of videos coming out that require a lot of research, and as you guys know, I posted a video every single day last week, so today, just to give myself a little bit of a break so that I can get that research done for you guys, I'm going to just do a retro react to the Feline era breakup. I don't want to waste too much time, so let's just go ahead and jump straight into the vlog where Amberlynn announces that they have broken up.
Hello. So, I don't know if I'm going to regret this, but I don't know, it's like a little video diary. But, Feline and I have broken up. It was mutual. I have my freaking headphone thing in. It was mutual, and like, I'm wearing the same thing I was wearing yesterday. Like, I did have makeup. Like, I have cried it all off completely. I can't stop crying. I feel like I'm mourning like a death, like knowing that one day, like, I'm just gonna wake up and she's not there. It's a different type of pain, because like, I envisioned my whole future with her, and I know she did the same, and this was mutual. There has, like, I'm gonna speak for myself. There has been some things that just, like, I don't have to go into detail.
So Amberlynn kind of comes on and says that it was mutual, which I personally don't believe. I know that there was a lot of mistreatment going on from both parties in the relationship, but I just feel, based on what we know of Amberlynn in the past, that she's not the kind of person to initiate or readily let go of somebody. So I think that Feline initiated it, and that Amber probably made some kind of exchange with her saying like, hey, I won't go as hard on you as I've gone on some of my other exes if you just agree to let the narrative be that we broke up mutually. That's my personal opinion. I don't have any proof to back that up, but that's just what I feel from the situation, especially granted that she says that she doesn't have to share any details, but right before that, she seems like she wants to. So to me, it seems like she feels like there's a way she could give proof that it was mutual, but she doesn't want to say that, probably because then Feline would have the door open for her to come and talk about it and be like, no, that's not what happened. And I think that she did learn her lesson from the Casey situation as well as the Beck situation, that she can't just come on and say whatever she wants. Eventually people will get sick of it and speak out. Now, granted, this is before Beck started posting her videos and getting like actually online to discuss what was going on, but at the same time, we know that behind the scenes, Beck and Amber had been going back and forth about not talking about her anymore and all that. So the tension was building, and I think Amber saw that there was a chance that Beck was going to come out, so she just didn't want to get into the same position with Feline.
Love just isn't enough sometimes, and I know what I'm worth, and I know it might not be like a lot to some people, but I know like what I deserve, and I know what I want, and I just need to be single. I literally have cried. Oh, my head hurts so bad. Sorry. I have done nothing but literally cry and cry and cry and cry for the last like 24 hours. This happened literally before fireworks last night. I don't know what to say. Like, I know there's probably going to be a lot of people questioning and saying you seemed so happy, and yeah, like, the relationship I had with Feline was literally the most passionate relationship I've ever been in, but on both sides of the spectrum. On both sides. And I just, she's my best friend, and
so keep in mind that this vlog that we're going through right now was made on July 6th of 2023, and I clipped some vlogs all the way up to October of that same year. Keep in mind that she says right here that they broke up and she sees her worth and knows she needs to be single, because I'm sure you guys know how that's going to turn out. However, the other thing I wanted to point out is that she kind of alludes to being passionate on both sides of the spectrum, which I think Alexis was the one who told us that there was some verbal and physical abuse on both sides. And so I think it's pretty easy to say that that's probably what caused the breakup. It's hard to know for sure because I do know that Amber has so many other toxic traits as well, but I truly don't think that Feline should get off scot-free in this. I think that she mistreated Amber a lot as well. So, I just want to keep that in mind as well. And then you have the whole breaking up on the 4th of July thing before fireworks. And that, I'm sorry, it's not funny that she's like upset and crying and stuff like that. Like genuinely, I do feel bad that she is this level of upset, but it is so funny to me to think about breaking up with somebody and then you still live together. So you're stuck in that house and it's very awkward. And then the whole world starts letting off fireworks and like celebrating. Like that has got to be so awkward and uncomfortable and just a weird emotional space to be in. The last thing I want to say is about how Amberlynn always says she's like best friends with her exes. And then her exes all come out and say all this horrible stuff about her. And it just feels really weird to me for her to call Feline her best friend when she spent 5 years with Beck and a lot of time before that with Destiny. It's like, why can you not separate the fact that you need to not be friends with your exes? It never turns out good. And they don't usually actually want to be your friend. That's just kind of one of those like, oh, hey, I want to break up, but like we can still be friends things. They don't like actually mean it.
It's like she wants to help me with this move. I will be moving. She will be moving. We have a timeline of when that's going to be happening. And I just look around at everything and it's like I look over in my kitchen and I'm like, that's the first place she kissed me. But then there's also probably a bad memory in that same spot. It's like not everything is perfect behind the scenes. Honestly, it doesn't even matter why we broke up. It's personal and we both have our own reasons, but she's my other half of my heart and I'm the other half of hers, but we can't be in a relationship.
So first of all, she says that Feline wants to help her move, and we know that's not the case. At least at the time that they were moving, Feline no longer wanted to help her, to the point where I think that there was discussion of either Amberlynn's mom helping her or for Alexis to drive her. But there was like discussion of who else could take Amber because Feline didn't want to do it anymore. So I don't know if that was a factor from the moment that they broke up or if that developed over time, but that definitely did not stay as what was going on, according to Alexis. The other thing is that she keeps saying she doesn't want to like talk about it and that it was personal, blah, 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 which we know that's her MO, but it's very telling to me that she made this video 10 minutes long because I'm like, you only rambled so much about it because you wanted to be able to put mid-rolls in. There's no reason this couldn't have been like a quick 2-minute update video just being like, hey guys, we broke up in order to protect her privacy and mine. I don't want to talk about it, but I just want to let you guys know it was mutual. We're going to still live with each other while we wait for the lease to run out, but that's just what's going on, and I would prefer if you guys could just give us some privacy. Like, that's all it takes. But nope, we got to get over 8 minutes of her crying so that she can put those mid-roll ads in.
I just don't even know what to say. Like, I just got off the phone with my mom and talked to her because I just needed someone. I just needed someone that isn't her, because Feline is my best friend and I'm her best friend, and it's like, it's kind of hard to cry to the person that you're losing, even though Feline and I both have been crying literally all day. I have never, ever, ever, ever seen her cry this much. And even just calling her Feline is so hard because Bambi and Feline, like, it's not a thing anymore. I also think, like, I'm partially in shock. It's like, how do I go on?
This is so weird to me. And like, okay, I understand everybody processes things differently, but I had a very, very long-term relationship before I got with my husband. I was in that previous relationship for a decade. And so I understand what it's like to go through losing somebody that you've had for a very long time in your life. She was with Beck for 5 years. Beck proposed to her and then took that back. You know what I mean? So what do you mean that this little 2-year relationship that you're in, that you don't know how you're going to go on? You've already been through something much worse in most people's eyes. You know what I mean? And with Beck, she had this person who was there for her, that was supportive of her, that was always trying to like be nice. Beck seemed like a much better partner than Feline was based on what we've heard from Alexis. So I just feel like this is so weird. And it's definitely due to like her mentality of feeling like the person that she's with is either 100% good or 100% bad, and her having a difficulty reconciling that little gray area like we talked about in the Dr. Honda video. But I don't know, I just feel like at like 30 you should be able to process this, and if you can't, she should have gotten like therapy to be able to work on that like emotional reconciliation a little bit more.
I literally just feel like something I've always experienced is like when I experience heartbreak, I feel it physically. Like it physically feels like I've lost like a limb, or I don't know how to explain it, but it feels like I was hit by a truck 1,000,000 times over, just repeatedly, over and over and over. Like I just feel like I can't live without her, but I know that I have to, because it's just like I know what I deserve. Even though sometimes I act like I hate myself, like I act like it. There's a part of me that cares. And I care about Feline as well. It's like, she deserves the fucking world.
This is why I don't think that this should be brought to the internet. She wants to keep it vague, but also to tell us. And that's something that Amber does a lot that I really don't like. Like, don't come to the internet and say something's going on, but I don't want to talk about it, or this, that, and the third. Every once in a while, sure. Like, you know, if she only did this twice in her whole career, I really wouldn't be saying anything about it, because I could understand being like, hey guys, there's something going on that I can't talk about, and because of that, my videos are going to be delayed or whatever. You know, I can get that, but she does this so frequently. And so to me, it just comes off as this being not only her trying to hit the 8 minutes to get the mid-roll ads, but also her trying to get attention. Like, it kind of seems like she's trying to be like, oh yeah, you know I deserve better, so that makes it a mutual breakup. But also, so that I seem like a good partner and other girls will be attracted and want to come into my sphere, I'm going to say that I think Feline deserves the world as well. And I just think that's so strange, especially given the background knowledge that we get from Alexis, that they were kind of mistreating each other behind the scenes. It sounds like Amber more so than Feline, but still, like, I don't know. It's just, I wish she wouldn't be so vague about it. It makes it really hard to get a clear-cut picture.
And it's like I could only give her a part of it. I could only give her a part of it when I want to give her the whole thing. And by breaking up, you know what? I kind of am. I don't want to like shower. I don't want to do anything. I kind of just want to like eat. I just want to eat. I just want to turn to food. I want to numb it out. I'm just lost. Because like I said, I don't know who I am. And I'm just ready to be single. And I'm going to be living on my own. And I don't want to say where. I don't want to say when. But as much as YouTube has like drastically fucked with me in my life, it has also been one of the most amazing things that I am so grateful for. And it's like, for me, just talking and talking and talking is so therapeutic. And it helps me understand myself. I know a lot of people aren't like that. They're not an open book. But YouTube has been there for me for a decade. And it's not gonna stop. It's not gonna stop. So I want to document, you know, everything to the best of my ability. Obviously I'm not going to share everything, the real personal stuff, because why we broke up, it doesn't matter. It happened though, and I have to move on. I have to move forward, and so does she. And it feels like a nightmare. It feels like an absolute nightmare.
She could always just have like a virtual kind of journal that she doesn't share with anybody. And that's part of what I don't get too, is like, she talks about how much she hates being on YouTube and how much hate she gets and how she feels like she can't ever say anything. But then she says stuff like, oh, I love YouTube because it lets me document what's going on and this, that, and the third. But like, you don't have to link those two things. It's totally possible to film an entire video and not put it out for the world to see. So if she feels like talking to a camera helps her to process, it would have been probably very healing for her to talk to a camera knowing nobody but her is going to go back and review the footage and be able to share the reasons that she broke up with Feline and how she's feeling and whatever else. So I just, again, find it kind of disingenuous that she's like saying how grateful she is for YouTube because this helps her to get her feelings out and to process it, when we know that she's hitting the minimum video length to put mid-roll ads in. So it doesn't feel like it's to help her process, and it doesn't feel like it's to get her feelings out. It feels like right now she's just padding the length to get to the 8 to 10 minutes that she needs for the mid-roll ads. Now, we are coming to the end. There's just about 2 minutes left on this, so let's just see how it proceeds.
But I know that it has to happen, and I have to keep reminding myself of that it has to happen, and I have to keep a healthy distance from her, because like, she's still trying to hug me and stuff like that, and I have to tell her like, I can't, like, it hurts too bad. And in the past, like, I didn't want my ex to not sleep in the bed with me, but I don't want her in the bed with me. And I slept without her last night, and it was horrible. I have very, very, very bad abandonment issues. Like, this is due to like childhood shit. Like, I have been abandoned. You know, I was abandoned during the time of your life when you shouldn't be. So I have a lot of like fears that are irrational but also very rational. I hate sleeping alone. I hate it more than anything, but I know that I have to detach myself from certain things, and I have to be strong. I have to do this. It's freaking hard. It's terrifying. The unknown, everything that I have to do, all the I's I have to dot, all the T's I have to cross just to get to my destination. And I mean that like physically, but also figuratively, metaphorically, whatever it may be. It's just, there's so much. And I don't know, I just feel really freaking lost right now.
Amber's making it sound like Feline really wants to be in this relationship more than she does, even though they're like broken up, by being like, oh, she wants to keep hugging me, and I was the one who decided not to sleep in the same bed with her. But based on what I know about Feline, that doesn't really sound like her. Granted, I don't want to seem like a know-it-all. Amberlynn was the one in the relationship, and that should definitely be taken, you know, a little bit more seriously than just an outside speculator. But from what I've seen, Feline kept her job when she came into Amber's life. She kept her boundary that she did not want to be on Amber's YouTube channel. She brought up the fact that she wanted to do polygamy and potentially date other people and stuff. So that to me doesn't seem like a kind of person who would have a very difficult time separating. Like, it seems like when she's made a decision, that's what she's going to do, and she knows how to protect herself. So I find it really strange that she would be the one being like, oh, come here, I want to like hug on you and stuff. It feels like she would be more the kind of person to be like, no, Amber, we're broken up. I don't want to hug you anymore. I don't want to share a bed. Feline is the only person that Amber's ever been with that I feel like really knows how to hold a boundary, because it seems like Destiny, while she was a little more strong-willed than Beck, Destiny would kind of like bend a bit for Amber. And then Beck obviously was very people-pleasy, and so she kind of did whatever Amber wanted, but I just don't get that vibe from Feline. So I feel like it's more realistic that Feline was the one saying, like, we're broken up, you stay in your bed or whatever. But again, I don't know for sure, but I'm curious what you guys think about that. Like, do you think that this was genuinely Amber's choice, or do you think that Feline was the one saying that she didn't want to share a bed and Amber's just trying to twist it?
And I need a shoulder. I need a shoulder to cry on, but I don't have anybody. I don't have anybody here. Kentucky's not for me. It never has been for me. I came here for somebody, stayed here for somebody, and then was stuck here with somebody. All 3 different people. And now I get to be free. And that's wild. That's wild. I don't know, you guys. I'll keep you updated, but that's kind of all I have for now. I'm gonna go cry in a pillow or something.
Okay, so that's the end of her announcement video for the breakup, but I do have some other clips that I want to talk about that I'm going to clip in as well. But just to kind of give final thoughts on that video, I think it's really weird that she's acting like her and Feline are best of friends. Now, a 2-year relationship is not nothing, and I understand that, but it's weird to me that Amber has gone through so many relationships and she's never been able to maintain a friendship after the relationship ends. So I don't know why she hasn't tried making friends online, since she seems to be very successful at finding partners online. Obviously we get the Alexis arc and that's great, but I'm just saying, like, I don't know why she puts her all into these relationships knowing how they usually pan out. And then she says that she's trying to, like, really focus on getting a distance between her and Feline, and that she wants it to be like a clean break. But then they don't actually get their own separate apartments until October, which for Feline, I can understand. She probably doesn't have the kind of money that Amber has to where she can just move, but Amber could absolutely afford to pay rent on 2 different places. And I have moved from one state to another multiple times. Like, I have made that transition many, many times. And I can tell you, it does not take 3 months, especially if you have money, to get that move done. So I think it's really weird that she's, like, putting all this emphasis on how much she wants to separate from Feline and how hard it is still being close to her, but then she continues to live with her for 3 months.
Y'all, there's been a plot, like an actual plot twist in my life. Like, I've given a lot of updates and a lot of people have, like, asked, like, you know, are you and Feline gonna get back together? Like, have you guys, like, hooked up or anything? And honestly, I have, like, tried my very hardest to not do that, not kiss her, not hug her, not anything. And I don't know, like, what happened last night, but we did hook up. I don't even know why I'm sharing this. It's just my journey of life. And I know a lot of people, like, question, like, why do you share so much online? Because that has been my life for 10 years. I do not know how to stop. Like, I literally, I don't.
Okay, so maybe we talk to a therapist about establishing boundaries online, since that's come to bite you so many times. But also, I know why she's sharing this online. It's because she, like, likes the fact that she has something she can use to prove that she's wanted. Like, she loves being able to come onto the internet and be like, oh, you guys, you know, like, yes, we broke up, but she just can't keep her hands off of me. Whether that's true or not, like, she's, of course, going to use any time that her and Feline have any kind of, like, chemistry or physical interaction to be like, look, I'm still wanted. I'm still desired. We might have broken up. It was mutual, but I'm still wanted. Like, girl, chill. This is, like, yes, it's common for people to break up and then have a hookup with their ex or whatever, but I don't know. I just feel like this is not her sharing just to share her journey. I feel like this is her sharing to be like, I'm still desirable. Look, she can't even keep her hands off of me because she's trying to feed her ego. That's my opinion.
I was not expecting it, and it kind of just happened. And I was expecting to wake up with, like, weird regret. Like, she was worried that I was gonna wake up with regret, and then so it made me start beating into my head that I was going to. And I'm very much the type of person, I can't do casual. I can't. I never have. That's just not who I am. So I was afraid that, like, weird feelings were gonna get involved, but it's so weird. I woke up with no regret. I woke up with no weird feelings, like, at all. I don't know why it happened or how it happened, but it just happened. It literally just happened. And I don't know. We're not getting back together. I know a lot of people think that, assume that. They say that we flirt on camera. I think that we just have that, like, I was gonna say weird. I mean, it is kind of weird because we're not together anymore. We do have that, like, connection. I don't know what to say, but we just know that we cannot be together. We can't. Like, even just through this, like, moving journey, it's just been so stressful, and, like, we just, I don't know, there's been a little bit of bumping heads for sure, but yeah, it's, I don't know, that's just a little update on that. So
she is so, like, middle schooler when she comes online to talk about her having these, like, physical moments with people she's dating or has dated or whatever. And that's why I don't think that this was just to share for the plot. Like, she had no reason to come on here and disclose that information, especially to give the whole, like, oh, I thought I would feel weird about it, and she was thinking I was going to feel weird about it, but I don't. I'm totally, like, a chill girl that can just do this casually now or whatever. To me, it almost seems like an appeal to be like, look, Feline, I can handle it, so we can just do it again. And I don't know, I just don't buy her whole we're not getting back together thing here. I feel like Amber is angling for that in some way. Again, total speculation. I'm just going based off of what I know about Amber. But to me, it just feels like she's coming on here to be like, look, guys, like, I'm still desirable. And then it sounds like she let what happened with Feline happen. I'm trying to be YouTube friendly here. She let what happened with Feline happen in order to kind of be like, oh, I can be cool and casual, thinking that maybe that would lead to something more. Because I do agree that Amber doesn't seem very much like a casual kind of person. She really wants to lock it down and be with somebody. So that's my 2 cents on the situation, but you guys can let me know what you think.
I'm not doing the greatest today at all in any sort of fashion. If you guys watched my live stream, I don't know, I feel like I share too much. I feel like I share too much and too little all at the same time, and none of it adds up for me. So I don't know, don't question me. But I was talking to someone and things were pretty serious, I'm not gonna lie. But it's no longer a thing anymore, and I just wanted to let people know that because it's important that I do. And it's just been kind of hard, like just a weird adjustment period that I'm in, and I don't really understand it myself.
So at this point, we are 2 months post breakup with Feline. We're still living with Feline, and about 1 month after she hooked up with Feline. So you're telling me that with all that going on, you had time to meet somebody on the internet and get serious with them. And she said, like, 2 times in her original video that she just wanted to be single. It's just bringing so much, like, Beck era back to me. Because when she was doing the live streams with Beck, she was like, oh, I just want to be by myself. I'm never going to love anybody ever again. And then you turn around, next thing you know, she's with Feline. And now she's doing the same thing again. She's like, oh, I'm going to move into my own apartment in a new state. I'm going to be all by myself. And then we turn around and she's with somebody new. She's hooked up with Feline again. Like, she just seems like she is so desperate to get anybody. Like, it's almost like hard to imagine how she can start dating somebody new and that they're just cool with it, because it seems like she's just trying to fill a slot in her life and not necessarily looking for a quality person.
I don't know, like the person I was talking to, it just seemed really, like, real and authentic and just, like, amazing, and they wanted me to talk about them on my live stream, and we decided to, like, kind of end things today. And there's a lot of, like, backstory behind it, and not everything is black and white. There's a huge gray area, but I just figured I would let you guys know because, like, that's a big thing that I just, like, announced that I was talking to someone else and talking to someone, whatever. And so, yeah, it's not a thing anymore. And it's just kind of crazy, honestly, because, like, we had planned on meeting. It was, like, a whole moment. It was, like, a really deep connection, and it was really nice. And, but yeah, just, I think we both realized that
it's probably not a good idea because of some of the things that is like happening in their life or whatever. But yeah, I just wanted to give that update. And it does suck. That's why I'm actually really sad today, and like I was crying earlier. And
this is another lesson that you would think that she would have learned by now, is like, why are you coming on announcing that you're talking to a new girlfriend so early on? Like, you haven't even moved out of the apartment you're sharing with your ex yet. You are constantly getting scrutinized on the internet. Why would you announce that you're talking to somebody before you've even met them in person one single time? That is so crazy to me. She really does need to learn how to like keep some things private for a period of time, because coming online while you're still living with your ex, you haven't even moved out yet, and being like, oh yeah, I'm talking to somebody, it's serious, and being on a live stream no less, where you can't even edit it after the fact. And then you're just like opening yourself up to this situation where you have to come on here and be like, hey, I know I just announced I was talking to somebody, but now that's done. Like, why would you do that to yourself? Why would you put yourself through that added layer? Because you don't have to process on the internet. She has journals she can write in. She's talking to her mom at this period of time. Like, it's weird to me. I don't think that 2 months is too long to start thinking about dating somebody, but to say that you're serious within 2 months of dating and within 1 month of hooking up with your ex is kind of crazy in my opinion. But I don't know. Like I said, I understand people do it, and I don't mean to be judgmental or anything. I just think that it's a pattern that Amber has that she's not seeing within herself and taking steps to correct.
okay, guys, so it is again the next day. I keep saying the next day. I've cried off all my makeup today. But we just went to Goodwill because, like I said, there's a lot of stuff that I'm getting rid of, and we're gonna have to like make a few trips, honestly. But we like filled up this whole back thing. We had the seat down, the whole nine. Now we're at Tropical Smoothie Cafe. Feline went inside to get us some smoothies. I didn't know we were getting out of the car. I don't have a bra on, and I don't go in public without a bra because it's just like a self-conscious moment. I don't know what she's getting, but I'm getting like some peanut butter moment. So I haven't had a tropical smoothie, I don't think, ever in my life. So we'll see how that tastes. Maybe we could do a little taste test. All right, here we go. Wait, this tastes like the one that I make at home. Try it. Wait, what did you get?
Mango berry Cosmo.
Mango berry Cosmo with coconut. Whoa. That's good.
It does taste like the one you make at home.
Mine's called, it does, doesn't it?
With the PB too, yeah.
So this one's called Peanut Butter Cup, and it tastes just like the one that I make at home. These are big. Was there smaller sizes? They only have one size? Damn. You're on Tropic Time now. Okay.
This doesn't really have anything to do with the Feline breakup, but I just wanted to put this in here because this is another part of her eating that doesn't make sense to me when she comes on here and says that she's trying to be serious about weight loss. Why would you go to Tropical Smoothie and get a peanut butter cup smoothie? It just doesn't make sense to me. For reference, I also love getting smoothies from there. I don't do it very frequently because smoothies are not like the healthiest thing for you. But the one she got is roughly 700 calories. And the one that I get, the Detox Island Green, is about 200 calories. Now, granted, the one that I get also has a ton of sugar in it because it's fruit. But I'm just saying, like, this is what I'm saying when she doesn't make good choices frequently. There were other choices she could make if she was going to be stopping at that place with Feline. She also didn't have to get anything. That's a totally valid option. But this is not a moment where she is like in a heightened state of emotions and like needs to give herself food to kind of fulfill that whole like making herself feel emotionally better, if that makes sense. Like, she always says she's like an emotional eater and that's why she goes off track. But in this clip, she looks fine. She doesn't look like she's distressed or distraught or like anything has been going on. I mean, she did say she cried her makeup off, but in Amber world, that's just kind of a regular occurrence. So there is no reason why she couldn't have made a better choice. Even if she didn't go for the kind that I like, they have plenty of other calories in like the 250 to 500 calorie range. You know, even if you don't know anything about nutrition, which she says she's like an absolute pro at nutrition, you know that peanut butter is going to probably be the worst choice you can make. And then even more than that, she says, oh, this tastes just like the one I make at home. So you're making peanut butter smoothies at home on a regular basis too. I don't know, like, it's just weird choices to me.
There's just a lot of like changes in my life and things that I don't know, just things that I'm going through. And no, this is not a bruise. It's exactly what you guys think it is. Whatever. Like, I always try to put foundation and it never works, ever. I literally don't get it, because this foundation is amazing. I use the Fit Me Dewy and Smooth for normal to dry skin. Pretty freaking great, not gonna lie.
Okay, before I get into the bigger point, I just want to talk about this foundation. I use the same foundation, and it is a like medium coverage, if that, like kind of a light to medium coverage. If I have redness going on, it's not gonna really do much for that. It kind of just like smooths out your skin. So obviously, if she uses that and has been using that, she would know she needs to use a concealer underneath it to hide the bruise. But either way, she doesn't want to hide the bruise. She wants to come on here and be like, look, I'm still desirable. And what I think is really funny is this is literally 1 week from the previous video. And so she just said that she was in this serious relationship with this online person that she was trying to get started. And now she's coming on a week later with a hickey that we know has to be from Feline, because if somebody else had come to her apartment, we would know about it. So I just like don't get why she keeps saying like, oh yeah, like I have all this serious stuff going on, like I'm moving on from Feline, I'm getting into something serious with this other person, and yet she's still doing stuff that can result in hickeys with Feline. So
you guys, I'm not gonna lie, I haven't drank since April 2022, but I did drink last night. Yeah, I had 7 White Claws, which for me gets me a little drunk, I'm not gonna lie. I have very low alcohol intolerance. It's a situation. I've always been like that. I don't know. I kind of just wanted to let loose a little bit in my home. Nothing wrong with that.
I'm going to talk about the alcohol, and just keep in mind that if you're listening, I am talking about Amberlynn specifically, not you. So please don't take this personal, but I don't think that it's a good idea for her to be drinking at her apartment, especially alone, like for no social reason, just to drink, because she has a family history of substance abuse issues. You know, both of her parents have it. Her Aunt Tammy apparently struggled with that in the past. So I think it is extra important for her to be cautious of her consumption. On top of that, she says that she likes the mango White Claws, which are about 100 calories for the smaller cans and 170 calories for the larger cans. So if we say that she had the smaller cans, that's like 700 calories in alcohol alone, which she does not need. And on top of that, 5 White Claws is equivalent to 1 bottle of wine. So she is admitting right here that in her apartment by herself, she drank more than 1 bottle of wine just for no reason. So again, I'm not saying that there's never a situation where that's like okay to do, but for somebody with a substance abuse history in their family, I think that's a very weird, not good choice to make. And I think that for me personally, I really would only ever drink even close to that amount if I was at a social function, you know, with other people around, like partying, doing something like that. In my own house, maybe 1 to 2, absolute max.
There have been quite a few people asking, like, how can you move on from Feline when you were so deeply in love with her? And honestly, I don't know how it happened, but I did fall in love with someone else. Feline is very aware. It has been really hard for her, and I don't really want to like share stuff about the situation that's like personal from her end, but it it just happened. It wasn't meant to happen. I am still actively in love with this person. I am not with them though. Again, that's just more like personal things, but I do love them. They're truly, honestly, one of the most amazing people that I've ever known. It's just like hard to talk about it right now, so I'm not really going to, but feelings happen. I don't know how it happened. It literally just happened. And normally that's how falling in love happens. Next thing you know, you're like, oh, hot damn, I'm in love with this person. And so I'm actively in love with 2 people at once. I've never been the one. I've never been the one to experience that before. So
Liar Lynn entering the chat again. You were in love with Destiny and Beck at the same time, per your own admission, to the point where people were like, oh my gosh, you were emotionally cheating because you said it's emotionally cheating to have feelings for two people at once. And yet here you are doing it again, but who's surprised? Because she's always been one to either blur the lines, fully cheat, or to move on extremely quickly. So I don't know why she's on here acting like this just happened to her out of nowhere and she had no part to play in it. Like, she's always actively looking to replace a partner. On top of that, again, this is like literally the same vlog where she's got a hickey from presumably Feline, and I'm assuming she's talking about the person that she was talking about last week, where they had, you know, been talking and potentially talking about meeting up. So you decided that that was a bad relationship to pursue, but now you're back with that person? Or is this somebody new that you've met in the last 7 days and developed a love for? Like, the whole thing is just confusing to me. I don't get it. If you guys remember more clearly what was going on in this era, please let me know in the comments below. But I find this very confusing, and I don't understand why Amber would even come online and say that this hasn't happened to her before, because there's no way she forgot that. Sometimes I'll give her a little, like, benefit of the doubt that she may have forgotten that she's tried a certain food or something before, but to forget that you said that you've been in love with Destiny and Beck at the same time is pretty much impossible in my books.
So Feline has officially left. I had a whole breakdown already about it. A lot of people thought that we weren't really broken up and we were actually moving together, and that's not the case. Things have been very, 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 very up and down with her. Like, either way, I'm losing a very, very, like, special person to me. Very, very important person to me, and I'm losing them, and it's hard, and I'm trying to, like, just be okay with being alone. This is the first time I've ever, had only my name on a lease. First time I've ever moved somewhere, just me. This is the first time, and I know I'm 32, I'm getting a little late start. I mean, I've lived on my own, obviously, but always with partners, but it's just me, and I have to create this space to feel like mine and to feel like home. Right now, I just feel really sad, so I don't know, like, I have plans tonight, I have plans later today, and I don't want to be just like this, a walking heartbreak, this walking sadness, but it's just like in this moment, I'm feeling pretty rough, but I'm actually about to just, like, go shower, get ready for the day, and hopefully feel better when I'm done, because how I'm feeling now is pretty bad.
So I just wanted to include that so you guys could see the full timeline from when she broke up with Feline to when she moved into her apartment. So they broke up July 6th of 2023, and this is her saying that she's in her own apartment for the first time October 10th of 2023. So pretty much to the day, 3 months of time that she was with Feline in that apartment, sharing space and everything. And I just think it's crazy that in that amount of time, she was able to meet someone online, talk to them, develop feelings to the point where she was like, oh, I'm seriously in love with two people, hook up with Feline, get a hickey or whatever, and then be like, okay, well, I'm broken up with the person I met up online with, like, we're not going to pursue that or whatever. Like, that is so much to cram into 3 months while you're still living with your partner. And then for her to be like, okay, well, now I'm, like, in my own place or whatever. Now, other than that, I do have to say, like, I know some people are going to be like, oh, she's being so dramatic, like, Feline left and she's crying and blah, blah, whatever. But I do relate to that. Like I said, I was in a very long relationship that I left after 10 years, and I had never lived on my own. And so I remember getting my first apartment after that ended and being by myself. And it is really a weird feeling if you've always lived with somebody. Like, if you went from your parents' house to a partner's house, it is really strange to be in a new space for the first time. It feels very lonely and isolating. So I can understand what she's talking about with those feelings. That makes complete sense to me. The thing I don't get is, like, she's had some time, even though she was living with Feline, to process the fact that they were breaking up. And so I feel it's a little strange that she is, like, so emotional about the fact that they're split. Because for me, when I moved, we had the discussion that we were going to break up, and I think I left 2 days after that. If that, it might have been the next day. And so it was very much me being in a new space, processing the fact that we weren't together anymore and everything all at once, whereas she had a couple of months to process that. So I don't know, like, I can understand to a degree the feelings she's having, but I think that she could have done a little bit more to protect herself emotionally when she was going through that breakup. But either way, let me know what you guys think. Did you see parallels between her breakup with Feline and the breakup with Beck and Destiny? Did you see stuff that I missed? Let me know in the comments down below. A lot of times you guys point out stuff that I didn't consider or touch on, so I'm interested to see if you have any of that. And if you made it this far, you already know. Stay Delulu, but not that Delulu. I'll see you in the next one.